Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All Gurus Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. So let me start sharing the screen. Davishik Madhavi, when you're ready, you can start, Madhavi.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamadiraye Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Anaishtake. Hare Krishna to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Reading today from Canto 3, Chapter 17, Victory of Hiranyaksha over all the directions of the universe. Text 1. Sri Maitreya said, the demigods, the inhabitants of the higher planets, were freed from all fear upon hearing the cause of the darkness explained by Brahma, who was born from Vishnu. Thus they all returned to their respective planets. Text 2. The virtuous lady Diti had been very apprehensive of trouble to the gods from the children in her womb, and her husband predicted the same. She brought forth twin sons after a full 100 years of pregnancy. Text 3. On the birth of the two demons, there were many natural disturbances, all very fearful and wonderful, in the heavenly planets, the earthly planets, and in between them. Text 4. There were earthquakes along the mountains on the earth, and it appeared that there was fire everywhere. Many inauspicious planets like Saturn appeared, along with comets, meteors, and thunderbolts. Text 5. There blew winds, which were most uninviting to the touch, hissing again and again and uprooting gigantic trees. They had storms for their armies and clouds of dust for their ensigns. Text 6. The luminaries in the heavens were screened by masses of clouds, in which lightning sometimes flashed as though laughing. Darkness reigned everywhere, and nothing could be seen. Text 7. The ocean with its high waves wailed aloud as if stricken with sorrow, and there was a commotion among the creatures inhabiting the ocean. The rivers and lakes were also agitated, and lotuses withered. Text 8. Misty halos appeared around the sun and the moon during solar and lunar eclipses again and again. Claps of thunder were heard even without clouds, and sounds like those of rattling chariots emerged from the mountain caves. Text 9. In the interior of the villages, she-jackals yelled portentously, vomiting strong fire from their mouths, and jackals and owls also joined them with their cries. Text 10. Raising their necks, dogs cried here and there, now in the manner of singing and now of wailing. Text 11. O Vidura, the asses ran hither and thither in herds, striking the earth with their hard hoofs and wildly braying. Text 12. Frightened by the braying of the asses, birds flew shrieking from their nests, while cattle in the cowsheds as well as in the woods passed down dung and urine. Text 13. Cows terrified yielded blood in place of milk. Clouds rained pus. The images of the gods in the temples shed tears, and trees fell down without a blast of wind. Text 14. Ominous planets such as Mars and Saturn shone brighter and surpassed the auspicious ones such as Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, as well as in number of lunar mansions. Taking seemingly retrograde courses, the planets came in contact with one another. Text 15. Marking these and many other omens of evil times, everyone but the four sage sons of Brahma, who were aware of the fall of Jai and Vijay and of birth as Diti's son, was seized with fear. They did not know the secrets of these portents, and though thought that the dissolution of the universe was at hand. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madhavi. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Aradhya Madhavi, whenever you're ready, you can start.
Please accept my humble obeisances, all Guru Shishul Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. So today we are, thank you, Devi Shakti Mataji, for reading those translations. So we are reading from chapter 17, Victory of Hiranyaksha over all the directions of the universe. So just a little context on what's been happening so far. So what we have been discussing in the last few chapters is how Diti got pregnant in the evening. And because that was an inauspicious time and it was offensive to Lord Shiva and his associates, she got pregnant with two demoniac children, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And you have also heard that how these two personalities were actually Jai and Vijay, who were the gatekeepers at the door of Vaikuntha. So because of Lord's desire, externally it appears that they offended the four Kumaras. But internally, it was Lord's desire for them to come down to this material world on the earth planet, and for the Lord to display his pastimes by incarnating as Varahadev to kill Hiranyaksha and as Nrsimhadev to kill Hiranyakashipu. So this is the context of this chapter. In the previous chapter, it is described by Brahmaji what boons he gave and how Hiranyaksha became very powerful. So we'll continue reading this. So in text 1, we are still hearing a conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. I'm going to pull up my purport really quickly. So in text 1, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the demigods who are denizens of higher planets are also very much afraid of incidents such as the universes becoming dark, and so they consulted Brahma. So this indicates that quality of fear arises in every living entity in the material world. So don't think that this person is in a better position than me, whether that person is a small ant or a Brahma, even Brahma, right? So everyone in the material world, no matter what our position is, everyone is afraid. This material world, Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita that this world is a place of miseries. Dukhalayam asashvatam. So this is the place of unhappiness, and it is not permanent. So therefore, everyone is afraid. But Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that that the difference between the demigods and ordinary human beings is that the demigods approach authority, whereas the inhabitants of this earth defy authority. So very important statement that Srila Prabhupada made. So when there is a problem during that time, what we do and who we approach, that defines whether we are godly or we are mortals or demoniac, right? So when we have problems, and if we approach authority, like the demigods, let's see, like here, the demigods see that the universe has become dark, so they approach Lord Brahma, and they seek an answer, and then they are living happy. But what do most of us do? We become anti-authority. I will solve it out. So that is the difference between demigods and the ordinary human beings. Also, I'm going to read from the Srila Prabhupada in that same purport. Srila Prabhupada says that Arjun was also disturbed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but he approached the authority, Krishna, and his problem was solved. So Arjun says to Krishna, I don't know what to do. I'm completely confused. So I'm sure everyone on this call has become very confused in their life sometimes in their life, and don't know what to do. And we have to see what Arjuna did. He surrendered unto Krishna and asked him to guide him, asked Krishna to guide him. So that is the greatness of a devotee. So when there is a problem, they approach Krishna or Krishna's devotees. Because, you know why? Because our perception is limited. We can only think about our own experience or what we have seen in life. But great devotees of the Lord, they have Sastra Chaksu, which is the vision of empowered. They are empowered by the scriptures. They can see from much more spiritual perspective and guide us accordingly. So whether there is a problem, we have to approach Krishna, his devotees, our spiritual master, saintly people, and we get our problems rectified. And then we are on the correct path. So basically the formula for peace is Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Understanding the situation through the eyes of the Guru, saintly people, and Shastra. That is how we should act in our life. Text 2. So Diti, we heard she was overcome by lust and became pregnant. But as soon as the effect of lust reduced, she came to her senses, like how we do all the time. We are mad at one point, and then we come to the conclusion that we shouldn't be mad. And she straight away apologized to her husband. What have I done, right? So therefore, in the translation, there's no purport. In the translation there, it says, the virtuous lady, Diti, which is Sadhvi. So we all get overcome by some anarthas, how now and then. But what defines us is what is our basic nature. Sometimes you can see that demoniac person, they will do good activity, but that's only one action. What is their behavior, their personality, that defines a person. So here, Diti is virtuous. She made one mistake, but she's very conscious of her mistake and spiritual aims in her life. And in that small purport, it says that her pregnancy lasted for 100 years, which is a long time. Text 3. So the next section of this chapter describes various ill omens appeared upon the birth of these two children, the two demoniac children, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. In the whole planetary system, there were many natural disturbances. So we'll be knowing what those disturbances were. In text 4, Srila Prabhupada says, I have to read that translation. Srila Prabhupada says that when natural disturbances occur on a planet, one should understand that a demon must have taken birth. In the present age, the number of demoniac people is increasing. Therefore, natural disturbances are also increasing. So from this, we should understand why we get natural disturbances. So we can see now, Srila Prabhupada has written this purports around 50 years or so ago. And since then, the number of inauspicious natural disturbances are increasing. Every week we hear of some disturbance, wars happening, volcanoes bursting, many other disturbances. So what this means, more demoniac people are increasing. So the collective karma of all these people, they are disturbing the natural cycle of the planet. Okay. Text 5. Srila Prabhupada says there is insufficient sunshine, and there are always clouds in the sky, snowfall, and severe cold. This assures that such places are inhabited by demoniac people who are accustomed to all kinds of forbidden, sinful activity. What you can see, like you all can recall what that place Srila Prabhupada is talking about here. There is insufficient sunshine, and there are always clouds in the sky, snowfall, and severe cold. So you know what that place is. You all know. And just a little thing. India is we all know, like India is the land of Lord, and Lord has walked on it. And from what I've heard and maybe little experience, we can see that in India, spiritual life is easier than foreign countries. But anywhere we are, we should engage our whole day or 24/7, engage in Krishna service. Anything you do, you be at the temple, be at home, chanting or studying Shastras. Text 6. So dense clouds covered all the luminaries in the sky, spreading darkness. So sometimes in our life, everything is dark. But in this situation, but in that dark situation, we should think of who? Krishna. And from the darkness of our life, we should try to see Krishna in every situation. And then the whole situation become what? Krishna conscious. Sometimes we suffer suffer from so many things, various traumas in our life. In these various situations, try to see Krishna, and the whole situation will change. In text 7, the ocean, rivers, and lakes eclipses are happening. So here, not the humans and the nature, but also the aquatics and lotuses, they are also suffering. So everyone is suffering basically. Text 8, it says, misty halos appeared around the sun and the moon during solar and lunar eclipses again and again. Claps of thunder were heard even without clouds, and sounds like those of rattling chariots emerged from the mountain caves. In text 9, in the interior of the villages, she-jackals yelled portentously, vomiting strong fire from their mouths, and jackals and owls also joined them with their cries. So all these omens are very much worthy of study. So we have to be in tune of things around us. Like if something is happening, we have to be very observant. So we'll know something is about to happen or will happen in the future. In the future. In text 11, Srila Prabhupada writes, asses also feel very respectable as a race, and when they are when they run in flock hither and thither in so-called jollity, it is understood to be a bad sign of human society. So if the donkey and asses they are becoming proud and happy, then something wrong with the human race. That's what we need to know. In text 12, frightened by the braying of the ashes, birds flew shrieking from their nest, while cattle in the cowsheds, as well as in the woods pass dung and urine. In text 13, cows terrified feel their blood in place of milk. Clouds rained pus. The images of the gods in the temple shed tears, and trees fell down without a blast of wind. So all these are surprising things that were happening. And therefore people will understand that some bad things have happened or is going to happen. So in text 14, inauspicious, it talks about inauspicious planets and auspicious ones. So even the astrologers or astronomers, they could see that suddenly the planetary arrangement have changed. Srila Prabhupada writes that just as there are living entities in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, everything has goodness, passion, and ignorance. So even the planets are considered in those modes. Saturn and Mars are considered impious planets. And pious planets are Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, etc. So in this situation, the impious planets became more strong, more shiny, and more brilliant than the pious planets, and therefore it was not a good sign. The last text 15, you may read this purport for the day. So the four Kumaras, Sanat, and Sanandan, they knew that Jay and Vijay had fallen down, and they are taking birth as two demons from the womb of Diti. They knew about this, but everyone else thought something really bad is happening, and probably the material world dissolution is going to occur. So I'm going to read from the Srila Prabhupada's purport in the second paragraph, that to check the increase of demoniac population, the Vedic civilization enacted so many rules and regulations of social life, the most important of which is Garbhadan process for begetting good children. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna informed Krishna that if there is unwanted population, Varna Sankara, the entire world will appear to be hell. People are very anxious for peace in the world, but there are so many unwanted children born without the benefit of Garbhadan ceremony, just like the demons born from Diti. Diti was so lusty that she forced her husband to copulate at a time which was inauspicious, and therefore the demons were born to create disturbances. So here Srila Prabhupada introduces the concept of Garbhadan Samskar. Samskar means good impression. So I'm going to leave it at that. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai prayer, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madhavi, for nice session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.